Want to play the best sorcerer build this season? Good, because then you're watching the right video. This is by far the strongest Sorc build of the season. Not only that, it's also one of the fastest and most fun Sorc builds of all time. It's actual crack playing this build. Crackling energy, that is, because it's Zaramos's rank, one Crackling energy build, back once again to top the leaderboards. We've got a couple of different versions to cover, ensuring that you can play the build, whether you're a dogshit asshole newbie with no gear or gold to your name, or if you're an actual gigachad that likes to top the leaderboards and speedrun pit 100s. Either way, I've got you covered. But first things first, how does the build actually work? Because if you've played this class before, but haven't played this actual build, then you'd likely think to yourself, Crackling energy, that mechanic has been absolute hot garbage since Season 0. And this is indeed correct. Crackling energy sucks balls, but that's only until this one magnificent piece of gear was introduced, then reworked, and then reworked again to become actually useful for once. And I'm of course talking about Isadora's overflowing cameo. This amulet now allows crackling energy to scale its damage per level of shock skills. And not only that, but you can also use it to discharge upon your enemies with increased damage all at once. The increased skill damage part, though, is my favorite, because that allows us to rock this strange assortment of skills. 6 lightning skills, only to boost the Isadora's overflowing cameo. And it's definitely worth it, because doing this we can stack up 100 or so skill ranks, each of them boosting crackling energy by 10% damage. So yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. Okay, Mr. Big Penis Man, but how do we actually generate crackling energies? And what even is crackling energy? Do you inhale it, inject it into your bloodstream, or where is it supposed to go?
Shove it up your butt!
Well, nowhere really. It's just a passive skill where you pick up blue thingies on the ground, and those then deal damage automatically. So all we need to do is spawn them, and everything else just sorts itself out. Okay, and how do we do that then? We do that in a multitude of ways, but the most important one is by shooting out blue balls of lightning. Each of them spawns 2 crackling energies, and then we just hold the button down. The rest of them mostly just spawns automatically via our unstable currents and teleport. This means that the gameplay of this build is silky smooth. You hold down the ball lightning button, you teleport, press your cooldowns when they're off, and repeat. Simple as that. There are, however, some important gear and skill tree interactions you need to be aware of before putting the build together, so let's check those out now, shall we? First, though, we have the different versions here. You have a starting variant for, well, getting started. A speed demon version, which you should use for all speed farming content like lower pit runs, hell tides, and all that good stuff. And finally, a pushing variant for big damage that you can not only use for pit and tower pushing, but also for running higher tier uber bosses and so on. The main difference between the two versions is that for speed running, you will be focusing on teleporting and combining that with raiment, whereas in the pushing variant, you're focusing on damage and immortality via temerity. For simplicity, let's focus on the pushing variant though, as they are very similar. Zaramos also has an ultra push variant using Hail of Verglass that he came up with and used to push for rank 1. It's a bit more difficult to play, but for the pushers out there, I'm linking that version in the description as well. And first, you're looking to grab yourself a Air of Perdition. Because damage equals big damn equals big dick, and this sure has a lot of damage. 60% plus core skill ranks and crit chance, yes please, and thank you. If you're lucky, then you could also look for intelligence rampage bonuses and then slap on the Ahu and Cax rune combo to double your damage with ease. After that, look for a great Shroud of False Death, where you'll grab the Seer and Vex rune combo, because again, most of our damage comes from the interaction of combining skill ranks with Isadora's. When it comes to the gloves, It's all about core skills yet again, and after that, we want to add the vacuum cleaner aspect, aka the charged flash aspect. Using this, our charged bolt now consumes crackling energies, and it does so while dealing AoE damage in a cone in front of us. And where does the charged bolts come from? Great question, Mr. Dumbshit Viewer. We're going to rock the charged bolt enchantment, allowing us to spawn charged bolts as we stun enemies, which we do a lot via our lightning spears, for example. And for the other enchantment, you just use ball lightning for damage, or teleport if you prefer for some extra mobility. And speaking of our skills, most of them are simply here to decorate our skill bar and boost Isadoras, as we're only actually pressing unstable currents and lightning spear to boost our damage, and then it's all about just pressing the ball lightning button as hard as possible. Alright, and back to the gear. For pantaloonies, we're rocking the temerity pants as they make us more or less immortal. And since we can use health potions at full health and we're using Orsa Veins, we can also gain ice armor for free when we use health potions. This is of course due to gaining the ice barrier enchantment from Orsa Vein, which triggers from health potions. We then want to slap on a slick pair of sneakers, where we want ball lightning ranks and mana, followed by the gravitational aspect for extra pushing capabilities. And if you were to speed farm, then you'd grab the bounding conduit aspect, of course. For our weapons, we already mentioned Orsa Vein, granting us a shitload of damage as long as we're not slotting defensive skills onto our bars, which we don't, at least not when pushing. After that, we go for the shredding blades aspect on a focus, where we also ensure we have life on hit as to not fucking die, and a crackling energy temper for extra clear. Finally, we want Isadoras as the build wouldn't function otherwise, starless skies for more damage, and galvanic azurite for even more damage. And it goes without saying, if you don't have any of the mythics here, you just grab whatever is in the starting variant. Great job, friends. Gear complete. And just in time, seeing as it's already skill tree a fucking clock, and you know it. First out are the basic skills. Here we're just maxing out Spark for the extra damage via Isadoras, and the same goes for Chain Lightning. Charged Bolt also increases our damage via Isadoras, but in case you skipped the previous section, in which case you can go fuck yourself, it also boosts our AoE via the Charged Flash aspect and our enchantment. We then move to grab Frost Nova with Mystical Frost Nova for extra damage, and the same goes for Ice Barrier. We don't actually press these, but rather spawn them via our enchantments and the Orsavan weapon. After that, we go for our Familiar for extra damage, which we don't cast either and rather spawn it via unstable currents. We also have Lightning Spear here for extra damage and easy stuns, so we can spawn a shitload of charged bolts. Next, we head on down to grab some extra damage mana and our main skill, Ball Lightning. And the reason it's our main skill is simply due to Wizard's Ball Lightning, generating crackling energies for us. Finally, all of these passives for damage, more damage, and yes, even more damage before grabbing unstable currents for, yeah, you guessed it, even more damage before finishing it all off with overflowing energy for, yeah, no surprise there either, more damage, but also some extra AoE and cooldown reduction. Yummers. Nicely done, skill tree complete. Before heading off to the Paragons, let's see what's up with the Mercenary. You can use whichever one you want, but Subo grants both damage and wallhack, so we're using him, with Rahaya for support, and with that done, let's head off to the Paragons to see what's going on there. Starting us right off as per usual, if you're not fully maxed out on Paragons yet, then you're a bloody casual. But that's fine. Just focus on the legendary nodes and glyphs first, and then you can look to invest in the other nodes. And first off, we have the Elementalist glyph for a hefty damage bonus, which we follow up with the Frigid Fate node for a 60% damage increase, and the Charged glyph for a truckload of damage. Due to the large chunk of additive damage here, this is a great spot to dump any spare nodes you may have. Next we go for the Enchantment Master node, gaining the double bonuses as we're using 2 lightning enchantments before slotting in Imbiber for extra damage. If you don't want to chug health potions, then you ditch this one though, as it relies on actually pressing the health potion button. But as you can spend them while on full health when using Temerity, it's easy to just spam it, drain some health pots, and you're done. Next up, we go for the Ceaseless Conduit node, which we cap with ease using some intelligence, and is the most important legendary node out there as it also triples the Crackling energy damage. After that, grab Destruction, which is yet another excellent place to dump all of your spare nodes for extra additive damage. Finally, head on up to grab the Static Surge node for more damage and the Tactician Glyph for even more damage. And with that, we're done with the Paragons as well. Let's check out some gameplay so you know how to play the build and then you're free to leave. Fortunately, for like 99% of people, this build is simple as fuck to play. We don't press the 3 skills on the left-hand side of the skill bar. The Unstable Currents and Lightning Spear we press every time they're off cooldown, and the rest of the time, we just bash the ball lightning button. Simple as that. If you're running the speed farming variant, then you'd weave in some teleports for movement, and then it works basically the same as the pushing variant. And with that, we're done with this shit. Make sure to check out Zaramos' channel, drop a sub, and I'll see you in the next one.